Welcome back to Random University, where today we are going to dive right back into Lisa's journey part 4. Yes, it's not over. Lisa's continuing to trip and get worse as this journey continues. As we've seen in the previous 3 episodes, Lisa has not been the most cooperative. She has not been the most obeying, willing, and committed. It has been one of those things. It's been a very frustrating journey up to this point. Still hoping that she can turn the corner. There's still time. She's still alive. Heart's still ticking. So, before we get started, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, as once again, we are still trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We're really close. Less than 30 away, thanks to all the supporters who have been there so far. But let's go ahead and get into it. Now, at the end of the last episode, we came to the conclusion that if Lisa does not get this heart surgery, she will die. Now, it's not one of those things anybody's wishing for this, because quite frankly, watching this show, I'm always rooting for their journey back. I love seeing the fact that they lose so much weight that they actually got the skin removed from them because they were so big that they become flabby inflatables at some point in time. And then that's a journey in itself. Heck, that became its own series. I think it was like Skinned or Unskinned or some unsightly name. That's something that it wasn't very savory. Not something that it wasn't very appealing, but the show was a good journey, That's what I was hoping for Lisa so far, but right now she's straying very far from it. She's not going to get that skin removal surgery, just like she's not even going to get the basic heart surgery that they all need to lose the weight and, basically save their life. Well, let's keep rooting for Lisa and, what's next?
I feel like Dr. Now was really hard on me, but I'm still going to keep trying.
If not, then good luck. R.I.P.
But I miss my family so much. Without Danielle here.
God, Herbert's such a lovable dumbass. As he's just sitting there staring off at Lisa like he's not almost solely responsible for why she's in this position to begin with. Acting like he's not responsible for the act of killing that he's doing right now. Not looking at her like he's a complete murderer in action. He doesn't even realize it. Like, look at those lovable, adorable eyes. Like, he's staring it off at her like it is just like a Disney movie. Look at that. Look at those eyes. I mean, he is so into the moment. Like, he is locked in as he is sitting there plotting his murder out slowly, not even knowing it. He's staring off at her like Joe Goldberg used to look at Beck in the show You right before he killed her. So that's what this reminds me of. I just think Herbert needs to come to reality and realize what he actually is.
And all that we've been doing, kind of cheat a little bit, we're going to stop doing that because I don't want to lose. I love it.
Herbert sitting here actually trying to give this speech to her like he actually gives a damn. Herbert doesn't have an ounce of life left in him. Just sitting there looking lifeless in that chair. Like, Herbert doesn't have any willpower. I don't see it. I don't see the drive. I don't see the determination. Maybe I'm being judgmental, but Herbert doesn't look like he wants to live any more than Lisa to this point. So I don't know. When he says these things, I just feel like it's just emptiness. I shouldn't laugh so much, but when I just know people are speaking complete nonsense and lies, like they're just clearly lying to the person that they're speaking to. Everything is a lie to this point. Lisa's been lying about everything she's been talking about. She ain't been committed. Herbert's been lying the whole time. Like, they've been sneaking food up in this thing. That's why Lisa's still so big. Like, they're not getting any smaller because they just keep eating and they keep acting like they're not eating. Like, it's enough.
I want you to be able to walk. I want you to be able to walk and hold the grandkids, Would you like that?
I know I want to.
Okay, I'm going to have a quick change of heart. Maybe I shouldn't doubt his commitment and love. Maybe, you know what? I believe he really does love Lisa. Because there's no reason for him to be here up to this point. Like, none. Like, any sane person would have left. That's why I think he's a serial killer. Or just at least a murderer.
It's getting time to put that ring on your finger,
Now, come on, Herbert. Let's leave the empty dreams alone for now, okay?
I'll just be my wife. But I want you to walk down that aisle, though. Because all we have to do is just keep praying and just believe that it's going to happen.
Okay. Maybe I might be a little wrong here. I think Herbert really means this. If you look at that determination in his eye, that's the look of somebody like, no, like, bitch, we gonna get married. Like, we gonna do this. Like, you're going to get up and walk. I see it. I believe it. Even though I'm not doing or helping you get to that goal whatsoever. I mean, we're going to make this happen. Which is truly astonishing considering the level of delusion that takes place here. Like, Herbert, you know that you are killing her every day, right? Like, you know you are the reason why she is going to not make it to Christmas, like I've alluded to in the previous episodes. Like, you're the one taking care of her now. Danielle's been out of the picture. There is no screaming Danielle anymore. Like, none of that exists. It's just up to you. And she's still not getting smaller. So, homie, whose fault is it? Like, if she doesn't make it to the aisle, you can kind of look yourself in the mirror. Just saying, some accountability here, dog.
Only thing we have to do now is start doing like the doctor said, we're going to lose together, Would you like that?
I feel like this moment might be significant here shortly.
The fact that Herbert wants to marry me gives me hope.
Now they go on and have a nice warm embrace. Herbert does the manly thing and comforts his woman and tells her everything is going to be okay. After he's went ahead and said, baby, we're going to get married and everything's going to be all right. I'm going to see you walk down this aisle and I'm going to see you fly, baby. I'm going to do it. I'm going to see it all. This is going to be something special. And, well, that's probably a lie.
I know that life is worth living and I just need to try harder.
The option to try harder has been there. It's been on the table. It's been on the offering sheet for a really long time. It was there when you got to 200, 300, 400, 500, 6, 7, and wherever you're at right now. Well, it's month 5 and Lisa is still in the hospital, which is not a good sign, but she's there for a leg infection that she had at the end of the last episode, where the maggots and everything were starting to come back and make a very vicious return and start to eat her flesh again, like live little zombies, just tearing her apart. Quite disturbing, but either way, she's back in there and Dr. Now is basically about to go talk to her and say she's dismissed because it's time for her to go talk to a shrink, because if you haven't noticed, Lisa seems like she's a little bit off the hinges.
So we're sending you home today to start to work with a psychotherapist.
So far, just a quick rundown of the resources that Dr. Now has already extended Lisa up to this point. One was already sending the first responders to her house to go ahead and actually get her there in the first place. Send an ambulance and a crew to reinforce the home to make sure she made it there safely, and have people in the vehicle on site to make sure she was not going to die. Then when they got there, they made sure they took care of her, pain immediately at the hospital, which she didn't, turn out to have any pain. It was really all in her mind. And so they also assigned a dietitian to help her with the weight loss. And so they sent that person to her apartment to help her out with that. And now they're going to send her a psychotherapist to see if there's anything actually wrong with her brain, which is one of those things, like, she's really just seems to be playing a lot of games. So you can't really tell if she's actually messed up or not.
Okay. In the meantime, stick with your diet.
I'm working on it as we speak.
Dr. Now is saying, work faster.
Okay. Well, you still have to work to hit a weight loss goal.
Yeah, you still have weight to lose. You haven't met any of your goals so far. You were supposed to lose 30 pounds and you gained 18, I think.
But this time, I want to be 50 pounds over the next month. So
if you saw that look by Lisa, she was like, 50 pounds? Oh my God.
So you want to show me you're serious, then that's what you need to do.
Okay.
But honestly, Dr. Now is dead serious. He's basically saying, hey, we've given you enough opportunities up to this point. You need to lose the 50 pounds. If not, it's over. We're not doing this anymore. We're tired of you wasting our time. I've given you enough resources. We talked about this many a times on the previous episodes. There's nothing else that needs to be said here.
Then there's going to be nothing more we can do for you. You understand?
Right now.
Well, that's good. This is your last chance.
Dr. Now is absolutely fed up. Lisa's trying to give him the sad trump card here, and he is just like, I don't give a damn. Because quite frankly, I'm sick of your act. Because you're still acting. He knows this is an act. She, sitting there acting like she's all sad, I don't want to talk about that. Whatever. Just stop.
So please take this seriously, Lisa. We cleared up Lisa's infection and got her weight going to the right direction.
Up to this point, basically, since she's been in the hospital, every time she goes in the hospital, she loses weight. And she hasn't lost as much weight this time as she was supposed to. So Dr. Now and them started fishing.
She's only lost about 18 pounds. So we only have her down to 628. So something isn't adding up.
Now, since they've been in there, they were able to clean up Lisa's infection on her leg and get her, at least not to the point where maggots were eating her anymore. So this is what's happening next.
With the controlled diet she's been on, she should have lost at least 60 to 70 pounds by now.
Which clearly means Herbert has been sneaking food in this entire time, because we know Lisa's fat ass didn't get off that bed and go do anything. I don't even think she has a cell phone or cell phone access. So, she couldn't reach off the bed to go pick one up and actually order some food to get there. And if she did, they would know that it happened. So, this is on Herbert. Oh boy, I tell you what, he has been caught with the blood all over the gloves.
So, I think the difference is the presence of Herbert.
Which can only mean one thing.
He's probably bringing her things, but they both deny it. That's going on, of course. But the scale doesn't lie.
The only thing is, Dr. Now decides he's not going to expose them here at the hospital. He just decides he's going to send them on their way because he doesn't want to deal with it anymore. He's like, if y'all want to sneak food and do all this other crap, then you know what? Go on your way. I'll send you to psychotherapists and peace be the journey. Hopefully y'all do what you're supposed to, and maybe you'll show up 50 pounds, lighter. Even though you should have lost about 100 pounds being in this hospital so far and been a lot closer to weight loss surgery, but failed at that because you just simply couldn't resist. But before they got sent on their way, Herbert just had to ask one more question.
Hey, Doc.
Yeah.
I be the one that bathes her a lot, and she got a real bad rash right here,
Herbert probably shouldn't have asked this question.
And that's going to be a problem, okay? All right. Now, who's eating that?
No, I've been eating that.
Blame Herbert, blame Herbert, blame Herbert. That's all this is now. It's just a blame Herbert fest. And Herbert's just like, yes, it's all me. It's all me. Man, I'll tell you, Doc, I was the one eating those Doritos. No, it wasn't you, man. You weren't eating those Doritos. Cool Ranch. That wasn't you. That was her. That probably was what aided to the rash. You talking about not getting enough air down there? Well, when you got potato chip bags down there sucking up what's left, yeah, that's probably not good. Leaving crumbs, room for roaches and stuff like that. Ooh, that's even worse than maggots. Ooh, once again, rats or roaches. Stay away from those. And I'm pretty sure, either I don't want to go down to all that, but that's some nasty stuff going on.
It's traumatized.
It is.
Shit, rats would be traumatized. A big rat running across the TV. Imagine if it's infested. You see what I'm saying? They running everywhere.
Either way.
They running across the back of the couch, and they would just jump into the wall, and they would squeeze their fat, juicy butts right in. It's like, how do y'all do that? It's disturbing.
I need some earplugs to deal with the roaches at least. Y'all gotta provide me with some.
You don't need them to deal with the rats. The rats gonna be humping 24/7. That's what I'm gonna need the earplugs for. Hearing all that squeaking. Oh Lord, no.
And baby,
open the fridge and they're eating your key lime pie.
So on top of the key lime pie, look like a dang on pecan pie. The raisin bran. You open it up, I'm gonna give me a nice little bowl of raisin bran, and the raisins take off. They just start running.
Basically, you're just not helping.
He was eating them because
How did they end up in your bed then?
He was laying right there because I was
Basically, she's nasty as shit.
crying
I was
this
just eating
morning.
Lisa, stop it. This is the junk you've been eating.
Bad Lisa.
This is why you're not losing any weight.
Bad Lisa.
Herbert is sneaking in junk food for you.
No way.
And you two keep lying about it.
No.
How can we get through to you both that your time is up?
You can't. It's too late.
I feel like Dr. Now was really hard on me, but I'm still gonna keep trying.
Man, shut the f up. You old selfish, ungrateful POS. You got Herbert crying his eyes out into your arms over there looking like Scent Master Flex. I just don't get it. Really? We're going to sit there and just sit there, oh, I'm trying my best. You're not trying. We've all seen it up to this point. I'm trying not to really get elevated up to this point. I don't want to get animated, ticked off. It's frustrating. Anybody who's been trying to tune into this content, I'm sorry. Sorry that you had to deal with some of my little temper tantrums on this, but it is frustrating to watch. Because, you don't want to just sit there and watch somebody kill themselves. Nobody wants that. Everybody's sitting there oh, feel sorry for me. And first of all, people who be talking about that stuff, most people who serious about it don't talk about it. That's what makes it sad and scary and tragic, because nobody talks about it. People like Lisa out there running off at the mouth acting like it's the end of the world and whatnot, they're not gonna do anything. They're just shouting this stuff off for attention. Man, I don't know. She just, this has been very, very, very frustrating. And it just, when she says stuff like that, it makes me mad. And I'm watching Herbert just boo-hoo his eyes out and just sitting there crying, like it's like he was watching Fox and the Hound or something like that. Like, it's a sad moment. It's just terrible. It's like he was watching Pursuit of Happiness.
Ever since Dr. Now got mad at me, I have no motivation to be strict with my diet and exercise.
So Lisa's been sitting on her ass for the last couple of weeks, and I guess the only reason she hasn't got up and done anything, well, not really got up, but decided to adhere to the diet and get active, is because her feelings were hurt, because Dr. Now just put her in her place, and she's just so down in dumps, she just can't do anything, which is just utterly pathetic. I mean, really, Lisa just sounds like that little kid from school who just was sitting there bitching, like, because some kids made fun of his shoes one day, and he went to his house and just never came out. And it's like, are you really just going to sit here for the rest of your life and not do anything? You're just going to give up on everything? The money, the power, the bitches, all of it? You're just going to quit? No more life? Nothing? You're just going to just throw in the towel? I mean, that's just sad.
How you doing, babe?
Well.
What you want to eat?
Pizza.
Do y'all not just remember a couple minutes ago when Lisa was talking about trying and making sure she did the best she absolutely could?
But if I don't get what I want, you don't get what you want. And I know what you want.
I want to start.
Oh yeah, you want to put your face right between her good old-fashioned mud pies. You want some of those good old-fashioned flabby ice cream dinosaur cheeks. You want the best. You want some nice chocolate soft serve. You want to get your face right in there, Herbert. You want to enjoy it the best, just like she is talking about, which is just utterly nasty. Like, that's the last thing I want to envision is Lisa, like, getting it on. And, like, what is she doing? Like, first of all, does she even have the heart to even, like, do anything sexual? I'm pretty sure, like, having sex would kill her. I'm pretty sure anything active would kill her. Like, I'm thinking anything that would be, like, exhausting at all would just make her heart utterly explode. Like, just completely erupt.
I'm doing the right thing, you know. I want you to lose all this weight. I hate to keep cheating.
Herbert, your little pep speeches are reaching her about as well as a long-distance phone call with Cricket cellular service. It's awful. It's a sad and pathetic attempt, something that is not going to reach, homie. And Lisa has her head too far up the gutter for you to get anywhere with this. Like, she's too busy thinking dirty, which is gross.
All I want is the pizza and some cold soda.
And once again, the bitch man caved in like a house of cards.
Now, I know Lisa shouldn't have pizza, but it's hard for me to just turn her down.
Yeah, man, it's hard for you to turn her down when we know that you get a bigger boner every time she gets bigger, too.
Hearing what the doctor say really has the impact on me.
Then throw the fucking just throw the pizza away. Just throw it away. You ain't got to do this, homie. You can just put it away. You can turn the oven off.
But don't worry, because she is not really changing anything. I love Lisa, and I want her to do this.
Okay, then let's just sit Lisa down, which, well, never mind, she's already sat down. Well, let's just get together and let's talk about this. Get an intervention, and let's go ahead and tell Lisa exactly how you feel. Give her the ultimatum, man. Lay it all on the line. Come on, Herbert. Grow a pair. Let's do this, man. Like, you love Lisa. You want to walk down that... You want to try to present her at a wedding ceremony to whoever your family is. I don't know if you have family or not, but either way, you're trying to have this ceremony, right? Well, let's go ahead and make sure you have this pep talk with her first.
Because I don't want nothing to happen to her.
Herbert, you'll be lucky to see that nothing happens to her by the end of that meal. Like, you should be able to see her heart literally pounding up out of her chest like a Looney Tune at this point.
Herbert tries to steer me in the right direction, but I know exactly how to get what I want from him.
Gosh, Lisa, this sounds a whole lot like manipulation. A lot like what Dr. Now was talking about, that you seem to have no idea what he was talking about. He was all sorts of full of crap whenever he was bringing up to you, calling you out at the hospital while you were over there screaming all that pain and whatnot. Oh, man. Yeah.
The way I see it, a little cheating here and there keeps us both sane.
She keeps trying to bring Herbert into this. Like, she keeps trying to tie this we. There is no we. There's you. Herbert's fat. Huge. Got a huge gut. He ain't where you're at. Herbert's still walking. You're dying. Literally every bite you take could be your last. But for whatever reason, you just keep pushing the envelope. This ain't about your sanity anymore. This is just about you being selfish as shit. Let's just be straight up. You just want your way. You don't care about nobody else. You just literally want to keep going on doing whatever the heck you do. You want people to wipe your booty hole, clean your fish hole, all of that stuff. That's all you care about. It's just like Dr. Now said, and once again, just like so many other people that I know, you can't take accountability all the way to the point that no matter how much somebody tells you the truth, you're just simply going to make up BS.
Today, I'm meeting with the therapist Dr. Now arranged to come talk to me.
And it's officially been another month, so Lisa should be very thankful that she's even still here up to this point, considering we know she's done nothing but gain more weight.
Maybe she can explain to Dr. Now that losing weight is harder for me than other people.
It's not. You're no special case. It's hard for anybody who's overweight to lose weight. Everybody can tell you the same struggle, the same battle, the same issues, the same everything that you have going on, except for the fact you're just too selfish. You don't care about nobody else. You just care about you. That's it. I mean, I don't know what anybody can do for your level of selfishness. You can't hear that. I mean, it's narcissism, really. And that's what's messed up. To know like a 700-pound narcissist, like how do you even get to that point? Like where you are literally up your own ass and you can't go anywhere because your ass is so great. But not great in the way of it actually being good. It's just fat.
Hello. Hello. How are you this beautiful afternoon?
Lola is really sweet. Even though I think she's balder than a rock, considering she has a different wig every episode that she's on here, and that's quite a few episodes. But yeah, she's really nice.
It's cold. Okay.
I bet Lisa's got that thing like 38 degrees up in there just so she doesn't like overheat. Like, could you imagine being that big? Like how easy it is to like overheat? Like just imagine like people who I know that are literally just like 200 pounds sweat a lot. Even people who are like less than that sweat a ton. I can only imagine if they packed on another 500 pounds of just fat and just heat and just warmth. I can imagine that just being just awful. That your innards just have got to be like a broiling oven. Like that's got to be just awful in there. Like, could you imagine if they like updated the movie Osmosis Jones and put them inside of Lisa? Like how catastrophic that movie would be. Like those dudes would not make it out of there. Like that would be one of the most dangerous things of all time. Like that would be worse than like Mars attacks or anything where the world ended. Like Transformers 3.
How's about here? Okay. Well, welcome to your first therapeutic process.
I feel bad for Lola just coming in and looking at Lisa, looking about as lifeless as she can get over there on that bed. Now, you know this can't be an exciting session. Just looking forward to this next hour or so that she's got to be there and sit through this. I mean, that's got to be really disappointing. Like, I can only imagine being a therapist and imagining half your sessions being like this. Like, it would make you want to just jump out the window or just jump in between traffic or just put your head down on a train track and wait for it to come. I mean, it just, the time and just the fact that, you're supposed to care about these people and knowing that like people like Lisa just don't care about anybody else but herself. And at the same time, she's just completely tapping out on everything. It's almost like, what are we doing here? Like, why are we really wasting the time though? I do get paid to do this, but I'm not even sure she gets money for this. Like, TLC better be paying her well.
So at what point in time did food become an issue for you?
Now, obviously, they dive into Lisa's personal history a little bit here, and they try to figure out some background information to figure out exactly what trauma led up to her, crisis here, and what led her to be bedbound and not able to move and having people wipe her ass 24/7. What led to it? Well, obviously, she talked about being pregnant early on in her life and getting pregnant at 15, and then she had this interesting quote here that led to some more interesting quotes, and you can kind of figure out where a lot of the source of her pain was.
What was that like for you?
My mama said, you done it. Fix it.
Yeah, that was a tad cold. And then she went to talk on a little bit about her siblings.
One got killed when he was 18.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. How did your family change when your brother was killed?
Which then Lisa went on to say that her mom blamed her for that entire incident, which if that's true, that's pretty effed up.
The night my brother got killed, My mom, it's all your fault.
And if that's the case, I can also see what, would lead to her being kind of cruddy and crummy and terrible at times, but nothing still explains getting into this situation.
It's all your fault. He would have been at home if he didn't want to be at your house. It holds a lot.
Okay, now I can empathize with being upset about the fact that somebody blamed you for the death of somebody who's really close to you, which is sick and really awful. But also, compartmentalize and put this into context a little bit. Just because he wanted to be at your place is not your fault why he died. So you can't sit there and blame yourself forever for why that happened. That just doesn't even make any sense. It's not like you were the person driving the vehicle. You weren't driving his vehicle. You had nothing to do with the accident. They just wanted to come hang out at your place. Other than that, this isn't your fault. So to sit here and blame while you're sitting in this bed over here, bedbound and wasting everybody's life away, now all your children that you done had, because you did actually go on to have a life afterwards, which it seems like you've completely forgotten about, which is a shame considering you had family members that seemed to love you and they were all there watching you get wheeled out of the house. I don't know, it's all this is just really confusing. It's sad, it's tragic, but we must press on. We must press on.
Even though your mom's not present to blame you for things anymore, it sounds as if you've begun blaming yourself.
Which is why they pay Sweet Lola the big bucks and why they have her represent as their company and television shrink. Sometimes I sit there and have crazy thoughts when I watch this show. What if Lola just turned out to be the biggest hoe of all time? She was just tricking out there on the side of the street. She was just the worst person offset. She was nothing like she is on air. She is a complete bitch. She is the absolute worst. Biggest diva of all time. Straight, boss babe, all the worst things, modern woman. Everything that you can imagine that's terrible. All the manosphere point of views, her. All the things that you never want in a woman, she's all those things. I think that would just be hilarious.
Well, I guess I better get up and find something to do outside, huh?
Definitely.
Well, I'm glad Dr. Lola approves, but how are you going to do that? How are you going to get outside? There's nothing you can do to move. Herbert can't pick you up. You can't call, emergency services 24/7 and just take you outside. They ain't going to do that to just put you on an average stroll. You won't fit in an average size wheelchair. You won't fit in a double wide wheelchair. You couldn't fit onto a plane. You can't fit anywhere. So you can't move, you can't lift your legs, you haven't walked in, I don't think, 2 years. It's been a long time since you've done anything. Think about the last time you pooped and you were able to take care of it. It's been a long time, hasn't it? I don't think you, okay, you know what, these are one of those things, I bet you do think about it. And if you do think about those things, you probably go into some dark places, and I don't wish anybody to get there, but you need to start thinking about those things, because that's how you really, bring this together. And how you figure this out. You really got to come to grips with yourself and realize, look, the embarrassing stuff that's been taking place, it has to end. Think about it. You have to spread your cheeks so somebody else can put their hands up there and take care of business for you. Somebody else has to take the scrubby pad and go down below. Somebody else has to get your back. Somebody else has to clean out the maggots. Somebody else has to clean out the sores, the lymphodemas. They got to lift up your rolls. They got to powder you. They got to baby oil you. They got to do a lot of stuff. And just to think, you're naked. And it's just out there for everybody to see and have access to. Oh, Lord. But still, that's what it is. It's nasty. Wouldn't you want to fix that?
So since being under the doctor's care, are you losing weight at the rate that you're expected to?
And the thing here is Dr. Lola already knows, whatever she tells her, it's going to be a lie, because she's still stuck in the bed and can't move. So she knows that she's clearly not, adhering to the diet. And I know she can smell the pizza that was in the room from earlier, the vegetables that was probably out, or at least the smell of the supreme pizza that she had come out of the oven. And first of all, when I think about it, it was undercooked. Herbert can't even cook a frozen pizza. The incompetency of these people that are around these individuals is just pathetic. Herbert's talking about getting married. Dude, you couldn't even probably put the wedding ring on correctly. I just don't get it, man. What's your deal? What's everybody's deal? All these people have problems. They can't fix anything. They just don't have basic skills. They don't have common sense.
No, but I'm not gonna give up. I'm gonna try my hardest.
I have a hard time just listening to somebody just lie through their teeth as much as Lisa has done this on a regular basis. Think about how many times we have heard that statement. She has repeated that over and over and over and over again, and she seems to get more and more and more and more tired every time she says it. And I mean, it's just a saying now. It's just coming out of her mouth. Like, we don't pause, but we don't even believe anything that she's saying at this point. Like, she's just so full of crap. And quite frankly, there's like a couple minutes left in this one, and I just don't even know how I'm going to get through it. Just a couple minutes.
Oftentimes, when people who are larger than what is medically safe set out on a weight loss program, the weight comes off pretty rapidly in the beginning.
So therefore, what have you been doing?
And so the fact that you're not losing weight at the rate that you're supposed to, it points to you're not doing everything that you're supposed to do.
It's been 6 months since you started the program, and I think you might be 100 pounds heavier than when you started. And you were already at 700.
Because saying the right things to me, to the doctor, or to anyone else isn't going to serve you if you don't put the actions behind it.
Standing ovation for Dr. Lola. Standing up.
I'm really looking forward to continuing to work with you, Miss Lisa.
Me too.
Now, clearly, she's reluctant to give that message.
I feel like today's session with Lisa went well.
I personally believe that's just her optimistic professional side showing right there. Then basically Dr. Lola just kind of went on to say that she is highly concerned for Lisa, and the fact that her, behavior shows that she's very complacent. The fact that she doesn't want to share her feelings about anything shows that she's complacent in her weight loss journey, and the fact that she obviously hasn't lost a pound and only gotten much fatter since the beginning of this journey. It hasn't been much of a journey at all. It's just been a big major disappointment. That's all this has really been. Yeah, it's been really sad so far. 4 episodes in, and Lisa, I'm pretty sure, is 100 pounds bigger. So, yeah, if you were hoping for the best, so far we have come up short. If there's some betting odds on what's going to happen in the next episode, let me know. So, we'll see.
Lisa fears not being liked or loved or wanted.
You know the old cliche, you can't see the forest for the trees? Well, this is basically what that life example is right here for Lisa. I mean, Lisa's got children, she's got brothers, sisters, or whatever. She's got family. I don't know about friends. She might not have very many friends, because you kind of got to be able to get out the house to get some of those, or at least have access to a phone, some internet, or something. I mean, being immobile, it'd be tough to gain some friends. But she's got plenty of family. To say that people didn't at least love her enough to at least, penetrate her, to give her children and stuff like that, is a lie. She's had people who have been there for her in her life, even though it may not have been for long, may not have been forever, but there have been people who have expressed interest in you and shown you a lot more joy and love than other people probably have gotten in their lives. And it's like, at some point in time, you gotta stop throwing yourself the pity party and start looking at the things you should be thankful for. I mean, we all have some terrible things in our lives that we can be very upset and very pissed off about, but I mean, sitting around being upset about it 24/7 isn't going to help. So why don't you try to your best to look at some of the good things? Now, you can't obviously imprint these thoughts into somebody's head, because I mean, if you could, it'd be a lot easier to make everybody happy, but it's just one of those things. You can't really make somebody happy who doesn't want to be happy. You can't make somebody feel appreciated no matter how much you appreciate them. Like, if they just don't know how to accept that, that's on them. It's not your fault.
And she fears that people won't be there for her. Thus, it leads her to project this happy-go-lucky personality.
And for that, I say F you, Lisa, because that is garbage. Danielle has sacrificed plenty of her time for you. Herbert is sacrificing all his time for you at this point in time. To say that people will not be there for you is an absolute lie. Dr. Now was there for you. He sent first responders to your place. Remember, we went through the list. First responders. He got you to the hospital, got you aid for your insected and infected wounds on your lymphodemas. He got you, he got rid of the maggots. He did that. He also, got you a therapist, got you a dietitian. He's gotten you many resources to try to help you out on this weight loss journey. And he also let you sit there in that hospital. He didn't kick you out, left you there. Got you another room, let you simmer down, all sorts of crazy stuff. But guess what? No. Can't be appreciative of nothing. The contradictions, it's really tough for me to feel sorry for you. Well, in conclusion, hopefully you enjoyed today's episode. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Hopefully we can get to that 1,000 subscribers sometime soon. I'm trying to get there before December. Running out of time and running out of days. So hit that button. It'd be much appreciated. But once again, hopefully, you continue to join me on this journey with Lisa, as I believe I will only have one more episode left. Only one more is going forward in this journey. As my God, if you enjoyed this, please let me know in the comments below. And that way I will consider making another one going forward in the future. I'll probably figure out another way to chop this up into like a shorter episode and like put it all in one as opposed to maybe a 5-parter. But we'll see. We'll see how that goes and we'll figure it out going forward. But either way, thanks to all the subscribers and anybody who's been joining me on this journey going forward. And in the past, thank you very much. All of y'all are appreciated. Have a good day.